Carlos Alazraqui is with us.
And Johnny Sanchez, comic, Lombardo Boyard, Jeff Garcia, what's up, dog? And Robin was coming off the alcoholism bout and beating it and open heart. I met Mike Love and I go, hey. I'm like, I'm too nervous to talk to you by myself in this small of a space. This is way too big. And that was the last time I saw Robin live.
Oh, and welcome to another episode of We Think It's Funny. I'm Daniel LaBelle, and with me is my buddy and co-host
Mark Schiff. Beat you to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was aggressive.
That was. Well, I'm excited.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Why are you excited?
Well, my wife is going to give me a gift tonight.
She's leaving?
Yeah, she's leaving for a week. Going out of town. Yeah.
It's a very Mark Schiff joke. My wife's giving me a gift. What's she doing? She's leaving me. We've got my buddy and yours too.
Isn't that enough laughs for the podcast?
Yeah, that's it.
I think this should be it.
Everything else.
Get off on the big one, right?
We should put up a paywall like some of the podcasts do. You get one laugh for free, and then everything's behind the paywall.
To speak, I'm conditioned. Just don't speak until you're introduced.
Yes,
that is what an actor does.
Wow. Well, good to see you.
Good to see you. It's been a while. We talked off record, as it were, about our past. We met at a club called Laughs Unlimited in Sacramento, and I want to say 1985, 86, because
February 7th
at first show. So it was 7:30, and the Beach Boys was playing, as
Beach
was
Boys
one. Remember, round, I get it.
That's
if
funny.
you were MC at Scott Edwards, Laughs Unlimited in Sacramento, in downtown Sac, Old Town Sac, as an MC, John Fox, the famous John Fox, he would play the Beach Boys, round, I get a run, and then
funny,
the record would scratch,
Yeah.
and that was your cue to come out from behind the curtain to introduce the show.
And the curtain was right on stage, right behind.
Right
It
behind
was
you,
a strange place.
Look who we got coming on after you today is the guy who wrote this book.
Yeah, Brian Wilson, and the movie in which he meets Paul McCartney in the hallway, and so that was the Beach Boys. Run, run. And I would panic if it's Pavlovian, because I'd be coming from the bathroom. Oh, I got time. Round. Oh,
Are you a big fan of the Beach Boys?
It's funny. where were we? We were in Sweden, but we were visiting a Swedish woman whose wife was British. And he's like, Beatles, all right, you can take them. But for me, the Beach Boys, pure brilliance. And when you look at somebody, I just saw a clip of Olivia Newton-John and the Bee Gees trying to recreate Barbara Ann live, and nice try.
Mm-hmm.
Right, what a great
They were
song.
so gifted, but Warmth of the Sun, and if you love the movie Love Actually, which we do, God only knows. That's such a beautiful.
That's one of the great songs.
Yeah, they were fantastic.
Paul McCartney said that was the one song he wished he had written.
God only knows.
Yeah. And it's, if you think of Paul, it's perfect.
Yeah.
So, by the way, they're still touring, but it's the Beach Grandparents.
The Beach. You know what? The last time I saw the Beach Boys, I was not working. I was at the Toluca Lake Tennis Club, and a woman named Nicole, at that time in 2009, we went there for Happy Feet, was dating the keyboard player at that time for the Beach Boys. And we got to see them at the Sydney Opera House, and we got special treatment. We went backstage, and after the show, I met Mike Love, and I go, hey, your nephew plays basketball. He's like, don't you want to know about me? No, I'm an NBA fan. I want to.
Wow.
What's your nephew like? It was like, I'm talking to Mike Love, for God's sakes.
That's great.
I opened for them.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was one of the most horrible experiences of all time for me. So I can't remember what it was. It was at some college, and they did not have chairs downstairs. They put sand on the floor. It was like a basketball thing. The whole thing, and they put beach balls in the audience.
You got pelted with beach balls.
And beer they had, and I'm up there about 3 minutes. Get off, and they're throwing sand. And they're hitting with the beach ball at me, and I'm hitting back, and then all of a sudden a beer can came flying. And I got off.
Yeah, smart move.
They complained about me. The Beach Boys complained to my agent that I didn't do enough time. That I
wow.
No, you got no love from Mike Love.
No love for Mike Love. You would think.
Wow, but yeah, we got into the Beach Boys, and you showed this song, and what a lovely thing. And I do like the Beach Boys, and
What's there not to like?
They're fantastic harmonizers, as it were, and I love the movie Love Actually.
Well, you're a terrific voice actor.
Thank you.
Amongst being a great comedian and actor in general, but for somebody to be able to do accents and impressions, you have to have a very finely tuned ear.
Yep.
I would imagine you can sing too. Am I right?
I have to sing in animation, and they get me to it. They'll literally, I'm a closet karaoke guy, so I'll go out and sing with Cedric Yarbrough, for example. They'll put on what he'll do. Oh God, I've been really trying, and he knocks it out of the park. And I'm like, I don't practice Santeria, but yeah, you have to sing in character. RECYCLE recycle. Although Rocko doesn't sing in that episode, but yeah, I've learned to sing and I'm okay, but I've learned that if I follow somebody who's truly musically gifted, like a Tom Kenny or a Billy West, who actually played in a band, they will literally have to point at me as to when I come in. You're going to come in on the 8 count on the double beat. All I heard was Charlie Brown's teacher. Lap, 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 lap. I go, just point at me. Point at me when I'm supposed to start.
Now you sang a pretty high register. Can you sing both?
Yeah, but not. I think somebody said I'm a tenor, right? So I'll sing fastball. They made up their minds and they started packing.
Oh, I love that song.
Left before the sun came out that day.
You guys sing something.
Then you got to go higher and exit to eternal summer slack. So yeah, I'm a garage.
Going without ever knowing the way.
Anyone could see the road that they walked on was paved with gold.
That's a sad
It's
song,
always
isn't it?
summer, it never gets cold.
You ever hear Curtis Mayfield?
Yeah,
I just listened to him this morning. Beautiful, high.
Oh yeah, man. Some of those voices, they're obviously heaven. There's a woman I really like on the internet named Sarah Eagleson, and she does covers of songs, and one of which is Going to California by Led Zeppelin. And if you're going to cover that song, it better be good, and it's good. And so I'm really enjoying that. What was his name? Charles Bradley doing his cover of Going Through Changes by, written not by Ozzy Osbourne, but it was a Black Sabbath song. I'm going through changes. It is so good. Charles Bradley, I think he just recently passed away, but he was fantastic. So
You ever hear the song?
Ozzy Osbourne did "In My Life," the Beatles song.
Oh,
There
yeah.
are places I remember.
Oh, there's the joke, right? The places I don't remember. No, I don't.
I don't remember anything.
That's so. I thought you were going to do a joke because that is like
Yeah.
room service. Here's a joke for you.
There you go. No,
You ever
but he
hear
did it.
Mr. Big Contagious? You ever heard that song?
No.
No,
No, that's a great song. You're contagious, touch me, baby, give me what you got. You never heard that?
No.
And the man says, sexy lady, drive me crazy, drive me wild. That goes really high.
I love the way you look when you do that. The whole
Yeah,
body
you got
gets
you
the
the whole
face
body.
changes.
He did.
It's different than your comedy face.
And I'm in a I'm in a windowless bus. I got
There
a
you go.
little bit.
What do you think of the bus? Right? It's
It
incredible,
is.
right?
It's cool. I'm on board the bus.
Yeah.
Metaphorically and literally.
So after Scott Edwards, Laughs Unlimited, kept doing stand up, but then you started doing voices.
Yeah, I was one of the Sacramento ilk, right? And there was a guy named John Boyle there, and Brian Posehn used to drop into the Metro Bar and Grill. And so 1987, I go to visit a friend in San Francisco, and she's a big Alex Bennett fan. So I stay the night on a Sunday, and it's a Monday morning, and I'm a comic. I have no work. She goes to work. Alex Bennett is on. I go to Chrissy Field in San Francisco, and it's all fogged over. And I'm visiting from Sacramento because I met her in college. And I go to the Chrissy Field. I dig a hole in the sand, and I start to read a newspaper, and I pass out. And I'm awakened by the sun. And I look up, and there's the Golden Gate Bridge in all its glory. I heard angels. Oh, and I said, I'm moving here. I'm moving here.
Wow.
And I talked to John Boyle, and we did. In January of 87, we moved to San Francisco. That's when I met the likes of Steve Pearl, Michael Meehan, Warren Thomas, Jeremy Kramer, David Feldman, Larry Bubbles Brown, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Wow.
Alex Bennett was cooking in San Francisco, and I said, I am moving to San Francisco to become a comic and work at 2 different health clubs, but I'm pursuing this. Because Last Unlimited, I wasn't sure. I was still coming out of college. And so, yeah, after Last Unlimited, went straight to San Francisco, lived there from 87 to 94.
Did you ever do the Throckmorton Theater?
Yeah, Throckmorton Mill Valley. I think it's no more. Mark Pitta ran it.
Did you meet Mort Saul?
I met Mort Saul, and I knew Robin Williams from both Happy Feets and from stand-up, and we got to be pretty, close because he's just that type of person. And the last time I ever saw Robin living was in the little balcony above the stage. You had to climb the stairs. There's a little alcove where you can look down at the stage, which was an eighth of this size. And Robin came up the ladder. He's like, how's it going, boss? I'm like, I'm too nervous to talk to you by myself in this small of a space. This is way too big. And that was the the last time I saw Robin alive.
We had Paula Poundstone on recently,
Yeah.
and she was close to Robin.
Yeah.
And she told some Robin. So do you have anything else you remember about him?
His kindness, it just was genuine. And both actually, he and George Miller on the set, we got to go to Sydney, Australia, which aforementioned Beach Boys story.
Who went? Robin? You?
Yeah, they brought the cast of Happy Feet, Elijah Wood, myself, and Johnny Sanchez, comic, Lombardo Boyard, Jeff Garcia, what's up, dog? Jeff and I went and did comedy every night. And Robin was coming off the alcoholism bout and beating it, and I think open heart. And so he was not really wanting to go out. And then one night he's like, hey, do you mind if I can go out with you guys and do comedy? And we're like, no. So we all went to this place called the Sugar Mill, and we went with Jeff Garcia and Elijah Wood. Hank Azaria did not go. And we showed up, and Jeff Garcia goaded him up on the stage. Come on, dog. You know you want to come on, dog. Let's go. Get up here. You know you want to do some time. You sit next to Frodo over there. And he got up, and we all did our sets, and then he got up and closed the show. And it was a magic night in this little bar called the Sugar Mill in Sydney that will never be repeated. And so, but he was kind. He's just kind. He liked people.
That's exactly what Paula Poundstone said.
Yeah.
He was kind. He brought her on Saturday Night Live to do a set. She couldn't get on the show, whatever, and he said, I want her on the show.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and amongst other things. So it's nice to hear.
Yeah. He didn't have an entourage. I remember we landed. We had done the first Happy Feet together, and he treated us comics with reverence because we're comics. And so we were the little penguinos in Happy Feet. Hey, Thorbo's got some love stones. And we showed up. We fly to Australia. We're all jet lagged. We get there in the afternoon. We're right on the Sydney Harbor at the Key Grand Hotel. Beautiful outdoor places, restaurants. And we step out of our hotel together, and there's Robin by himself. And let's mess with him. Like, oh my God, are you Robin Williams? And he started to recall. He's like, oh God, you guys, let's go to lunch. And he just took us all to lunch.
Wow.
It's just wonderful. So great human being. For sure.
He almost spoke like a Shakespearean actor or something, right?
Yeah,
He studied.
Juilliard. Juilliard, yeah.
But just the regular way how you were doing it really well.
There's a guy named Jim Meskimen who does a great Robin Williams, and it's perfect.
Oh, Jim Impressions.
Yeah, Jim Meskimen's Robin Williams.
Yeah,
when he
yeah.
does a tribute, and he just speaks as a regular Robin. And it's not like, oh, what's that? Oh my, must be a loon. I'm a loon. No, it's sincere, heartfelt Robin, and it's scary. He's so good. But
I went to see that show.
Yeah,
he does it in the Valley. I went to see him. He was terrific.
Jim is fantastic.
Did you ever see Garp?
Who's Garp?
Yes.
Wonderful World. Was it Wonderful World of Garp?
The World According to Garp. That is a John Irving book, I believe. I always tell people that when I was in my neighborhood before we got the cul-de-sacs, I was Robin Williams, and Garp's like, slow down.
The car. It was what I was thinking now. That scene is he just runs after the car going through the neighborhood with the kids playing.
And then the car it's a truck, I think, and it flips a U-turn, and John Lithgow has to
Do you
rescue
have
him.
kids?
I have 2 girls.
So you kind of know that feeling.
Oh, it's Mama Bear, Papa Bear.
You know what we're talking about?
No.
Yeah.
Why'd you tell him?
Yeah, how old are your kids now?
5, 3, and 4 months.
You ever
5, 3,
anybody
4
speed
months.
by on the block really fast and you're upset because you know your kids could have been out there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's that feeling. And so that's the scene in Garp when there's kids living in this neighborhood.
Yeah. It was so good.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. I was at a birthday party of his, and he was just so kind. Just so nice.
Yeah, and you think about this guy. This was a guy that was walking around Sydney, Australia. Oh, my people.
London. It's our impression of London, 1946.
Yeah, the Blitzkrieg.
Yeah, they come again.
The Blitzkrieg. There was a guy internationally Oscar award, I think, at that time, because he had won for Good Morning Vietnam, or did he win for Awakenings? So he had
Good Morning.
Good Morning Vietnam. So Adrian Cronauer. He was just by himself. There was no entourage. There was no tears to get to Robin or George Miller, by the way, who was very kind. It was like, hey, we're all friends here. If you guys want to go out to dinner, we'd like to take you. Everyone was like, George was like, I remember when we went to Robin's memorial at the, I want to say the Coronet Theater, but that's not right. It's on Gary Street. It wasn't the ACT, so it was the other one. It might have been the Coronet. And all these bigwigs were there, and George hadn't seen us in 5-6 years. And he's like, "Hi, Laura," my wife, "Carlos, how you going? Oh, good to see you guys." They just were those type of people. Just like,
Right.
Isn't it the greatest when you're accepted into a group of comedians?
Yeah.
And you're around the funniest people in the world.
Yes.
You're just standing backstage, at the comedy store, and
Right.
there's this guy and this guy, and boom, and it's insane.
It's like you're in a picture that's on a wall of great comedians. Like there's Buster Keaton behind you. Yeah, it's what I love. I'm not doing as much stand-up anymore. And I was talking about this with Brian Copeland he has a podcast as well, Bay Area comedian.
Right.
And I love wearing the dog tag that I have been a comedian in my life. I spent so many years doing it. I don't feel the need to perform as much anymore. I love doing voiceover. I talk about this with Tom Kenny, who's SpongeBob. Tom was a great comic.
Mm-hmm.
And he went on The Edge, which was a show where he met his wife, Jill Talley. He was, of course, on Mr. Show. But he says, yeah, I love doing voiceover, but I'm fascinated by comics, and I like hanging. Remember Mike Lacey at the
Well, he doesn't come in anymore, but I do the Laugh Comedy Magic Club.
He just you would come in just to watch your friend. He's like, "You want some dinner?"
Yeah, he would feed anybody that came in. Like when you were there with me a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I asked if you want something to eat, and
Right.
Our buddy Richard Barrett, my fellow Clipper fan,
Yeah.
along with Alonzo Bowden and Christina Sully McCullough and Christina Alonso are on this. I told them I'm going back to the Warriors next year, and they're like, "Whatever, we disown you." But
I was there with Christina that night,
yeah,
and Alonzo's been here.
Yeah, and it's just nice to hang out with other comics.
It's unbelievable.
You're like, what great minds. And so I don't mind actually going to watch a show. It gets me in the mood to maybe want to perform. It's what I liked about Flappers. I live in Burbank. I could go to Flappers, and I would perform with Todd Rex, who opened for Greg Robinson, and I had met him in the Cabo Comedy Festival. It was a guy that made me laugh out loud, which, as you know, as comics is really hard.
Yeah.
And we would do shows together. We would co-headline, and he was really good. But it was one of those things where he would just sit in a booth, and we would just play to each other if the audience wasn't into it.
Right.
And I missed those times, but I love hanging out with comics and voice actors
Let's
and
face
just
it,
creative
you got a
people.
good job. So
Yeah.
We had Paula Poundstone here yesterday, and before she came, I listened to her special, like Cats and something. It was a award-winning special. It's just, and I'm listening to it, and I'm laughing so hard at home by myself, listening to these great jokes. I'm excited that I'm going to be able to tell her how much I like those jokes and the work. You know,
you didn't say a word about it when she got here.
I did mention.
No, I know. I'm kidding.
Paula, do you know? Yeah, I love wordsmiths. I love watching a young comic where you go, oh, that person knows themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I was a guy that always wanted to be liked and be like, I want to be like Warren Thomas. I want to be like Tom Kenny. I want to be like Paula Poundstone. I want to be like Ellen DeGeneres. I want to be a piece of all of them. But until I had my kids, I didn't really have my own voice.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I can talk about something I really know. And I have enough confidence now that if you don't like it, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
So I went into doing characters a lot and hiding behind that.
on
So-
stage.
Yeah. So somebody like you, that you're Mark Schiff, here's your great jokes, here's your delivery, you're you.
Right.
I am somebody that I'd rather be, it was easier to be somebody else. So that's why I went into voices.
Was there one particular character that you really loved doing?
I love doing this, and I tell people I do a lot of voiceover stuff. And one of the things we get to do is sound alike. Billy Crystal is not always available, rarely available, nor does he need or want to do voices for dolls, toys, rides. So I was told by a guy named Brian Monroe that you should audition for Billy Crystal sound alike stuff, Mike Wazowski, and that he's the guy that said, you're a tenor. You're right in his neighborhood. I'm like, I don't think so. So I got the movie Forget About Paris or Forget
I
Paris.
love that movie.
The basketball one. He's a referee. I know you're not supposed to tell me everything on a first date, but you hit an occasional highlight or two, like, oh yeah, you're married. And so I went, yeah, I'm kind of close. And after hundreds of hours, I was able to do Mike Wazowski. So right here, Sully, right in my one eye.
So the challenge of doing that and fooling people, because you have to be as exact as possible. That's my favorite character to do. It's not mine.
Right.
It's something that Billy created, this wonderful template, and I'm simply tracing over it. But I love the challenge.
Does he know that?
No, I met him once. He was on the show with Josh Gad. I think it was called The Dreamers or whatever. They're
comedians, isn't it?
The comedians. They were a comedy duo, which I really loved.
Yeah.
And Stephanie Weir in that was fantastic. But I met him, and I just said, oh,
We're both Clipper fans. So,
hey, nice to meet you. I enjoy your work. He's like, thank you. No, I don't think that's something that you'd want to say to somebody?
I grew up down the street from where he grew up in
Oh, really?
Long Beach, Long Island.
Long Beach,
And
Long Island.
his brother, Joel Crystal, was my high school art teacher.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we became friends. And one year he offered me, he couldn't make it to the Oscars. Billy was hosting again. He offered me his tickets. I didn't go, but I didn't have the money, and I don't think my parents would let me go either. I don't remember what it was.
Because you would have had to have gone from Long Island. You
Yeah,
weren't-
right. Yeah, but Joel offered me his Oscar tickets from his brother, and I remember it was so casual because, first of all, he was towards the end of his teaching career. He was already tenured. He didn't care at all. You know, he was an art teacher, and he'd just be like, "Go do whatever you want, guys," and then he would just sit there in the front, and he was like, he was exactly like Squidward from SpongeBob.
All right, you guys, just go do what you want.
That's how he was. That was his
Roger
personality. Like, it was exactly him.
Don't bother me.
Yeah, and he would just sit there with his legs folded in the front, and I'd go and talk to him, and like, I guess that's how we became friends, because like he was such a curmudgeon, nobody else would talk to him, and he would just always have a pile of mail, and he'd be opening it up and going through it and crumpling it up and throwing it out. And one time he just opens up an envelope, he goes, "Oh, these are Academy Award tickets from my brother. I can't go this year. You want them?"
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to see a short film of that. This is my favorite Billy Crystal moment, right? Memorial for Robin Williams at the Coronet. Let's say the Coronet. And it's a Glide Memorial. Stevie Wonder came out and did a song. It was the song Always. Bum, ba, da, bum, 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 bum. Everybody bawling. So the show opens with some Glide Memorial choir. And Jesus, what will I? And Billy's the MC, and the song finishes, and he leans over the podium and goes, "I'm converting."
Wow.
And I went, man, that is how you do it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Billy Crystal moments in movies in Harry Met Sally.
Mhm.
You know the movie?
Yeah.
So Meg Ryan.
Yeah, and he has to sprint before midnight.
Yep. So she's driving a car. It's early in the movie. They just met. And he spits out the window, but the window's up.
Yeah.
So he spits on the window. This is the way he starts a relationship with her.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happens after that, but
Yeah.
he killed me with that. Yeah, right on the window.
Right on the window. But so, yeah, that's my favorite. And if we get into the origin of my voiceover, I tell people is my mom and dad are from Argentina. My dad was British educated in Argentina. So no accent.
Was
my
he
mom,
Jewish, your father?
The last name, Alazraqui, is a Sephardic Jewish last name, which was changed from Ki. There is a Carlos Alazraqui in Mexico with a Ki to Qui because of anti-Semitism in Argentina back in the day.
That's where all the Nazis moved.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, the last name on my
You would
father's
know
side
Nazis
is
were
Sephardic.
there with Hitler Avenue, Eichmann Plaza.
By the way,
No.
do you know the president of Argentina is releasing all the documents of who the Nazis that came to Argentina were/are?
Wow.
Yeah, that was announced this week.
Interesting.
That,
Everybody's releasing everything.
he's converting to Judaism. I think the head of Argentina, the president.
They'll kill him in an hour.
Yeah, he's done.
He's got an hour to live. As soon as, he goes, Baruch Hashem.
It'd
Boom.
be like the movie Bananas. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
shoots
right.
the guy on the steps.
Yeah.
And Howard
Woody Allen.
Cosell is
Woody
he
Allen.
just comes out with the
microphone.
Yeah.
So, yes, that's the lineage. My mom, Carlitos No Me Digas, and my best friend, Kevin, his parents were from Glasgow, Scotland.
Really?
So
my mom's from Glasgow, Scotland. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
What do you think of his?
Does she know Rob C. Nesbitt with Gregor Fisher? She
give him a
probably knows.
Scottish
She
She does
accent.
know him. Yeah. You want me? Look.
Yeah.
All right, Paul. Listen to me.
Can you tell us what you think of it? His
Yeah,
Scottish
he's
accent?
probably
Give
pretty,
me an idea, huh? Is that all right for you?
it's fantastic because he's got a reference, right?
All right. We just do the rest of the show with us two as Scottish.
People listen and
But
go,
Kevin's dad, John and Mary, were from Glasgow. And so 5 days a week, I'm sitting there and he's calling me Carlos.
Yeah.
And the joke is, no, I have a car. Carlos, are you and Kevin going outside? And there are shortcuts, which I learned. And then if you watch Rab C. Nesbitt, it stars the actor Gregor Fisher, who is the manager, once again, in the movie Love Actually. 5 minutes at Elton John's, you're as gay as a swan.
Yeah.
But so yeah, this began, and my mom, Carlito, no me digas, my neighbors, grandmother Raquel, Dana Shelley, you have to come home. And I'm like, I'm hearing all this stuff as a neutral California kid. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, I've got my references. For you, your Scottish accent comes from your mom. You have a visual reference.
Well, I've spent a lot of time in Glasgow also because a lot of family there. I was in a cab once with my cousin Mark.
Yeah.
And
Did you say your cousin's name's Mark?
a different cousin,
Okay.
not you. You're not my cousin as
Oh,
far
yeah.
as I know. But we're in the back of the cab, and we were, I guess, teenagers. And he loved to. He would drive me crazy by telling everybody that I'm from New York, because everybody would want to talk to me about it. So I started, pretending I wasn't from New York to throw him off. So he goes, that's my cousin. He's from New York City. Yeah, listen to that, mate. It's a New York City guy. So I said, he's full of bollocks.
Yeah.
I'm not from New York City. I'm from down the block, pal.
He's perfect.
So
It's so good.
So he goes, so the driver who knew Mark, because it's, a small community, goes, Mark, will you stop it with this, you bag? It's enough already. And he goes, no, I'm not putting you on. He's really from Scotland. He's really from New York. I said, I'm not from New York. He's constantly doing this to me, So anyway, Mark gets mad at me, and he goes, do your real voice. So I said, all right, I am from New York. He's not lying to you. And the guy goes, that's the most rubbish New York accent I've ever heard.
Yeah. I love it. Something similar. I was talking to Colin Hay because I met him in Aspen, and I was recounting the story. I said, you remember, Colin, I told you that my best friend's parents were from Glasgow, and he said, when did you leave? I went, what? He goes, when did you leave Glasgow? And I go, no, I'm not from Glasgow.
Yeah.
He thinks I'm from Glasgow.
Yeah.
There's Gregor Fisher, Robsy Nesbitt. You've got all kinds of colloquialisms and sayings. But my favorite from the show is a woman is being rude to Rab's son, Bernie. And he's looking for his girlfriend. That's like, she's not here. Is there anything else I can help you with? He says, skip it, crack your face and make your ass jealous. Why don't you?
Leno does.
love-
Leno's from Scotland.
I didn't
His
know.
family, right?
Didn't
Yeah.
you know that?
He does a Scottish accent.
From Greenock.
So
And
the
this-
two of them were dueling Scots.
By the way, we'll have to beep this out, Swice, but
With his clean. Sorry about that.
I used to do a character called Belly the from Paisley, and you'd be like a kid.
See,
Paisley is like
that word
yeah.
in that
language.
It's not as powerful. It doesn't mean the same.
Ugh, it's a
It doesn't
term
mean
of
the same thing.
endearment in Scotland.
Absolutely. It's like boludo in Argentina.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Hello, it's me, Billy the from Paisley. Today I'll be selling heroin in the back of the high school." Yeah,
You know who you sound like? A character named Jamesy Cotter. Jamesy Cotter. And he was Rab's best friend.
can you do Billy Connolly?
I do. I used to try to do him, because there was a character I did on Juniper Lee who was named Monroe. And I remember in the seaport town, there were all these bars lined up, right? And I seen these people standing outside, and they're all slouched over and mumbling to themselves. And I was curious, And I walked up to one of them and I says, what are you doing outside here and mumbling to yourself? He looks at me and says, I'm practicing to get back inside.
Wow, that's a great Billy Connolly.
Yeah.
I'm
You do him
just
too, don't you?
No, I can't in front of him now that he's done that.
No, but you know the shortcuts. So like there's an expression like Rab, just because your marriage is down the toilet, you expect the rest of us to go along the same way. So Ram, just because your marriage is down in the toilet, you expect the rest of us to go about the same way. Those Gaelic shortcuts,
yeah.
which you obviously know because you
Yeah.
hear it. And you've obviously gone to the Tesco.
Yes, of
You
course.
get your Iron Brew. Have you
Yeah,
drank?
Of course, I grew up on Iron Brew.
Iron Brew is this orange soda, which to me tastes like what? What does it taste?
You think it's bubble gum?
I think it's bubble gum.
but it doesn't taste like bubble gum to me or anybody
Okay.
who grew up in Scotland. But
It tastes like bubble
for
gum.
some reason, foreigners think it tastes like bubble gum.
I'm a foreigner.
But I've been going to Scotland for long periods of time since I was born, so I grew up on it. And for me and my cousins and everybody, we don't think it tastes like bubble gum at all. But I don't know. It's just an interesting phenomenon. It's like you could tell who's really Scottish if it tastes like bubble gum. It's a test. But yeah, I mean, my favorite. You ever see Billy Connolly talk about the stonefish?
no.
Gosh, I can't. I'm not even going to be able to do the accent now. The
The
impression, but
stonefish.
the stonefish. He goes, "Oh, I was on holiday with my family, And they told us to be careful of when you go in the water, something called the stonefish. And what they say about the stonefish is that if you step on one, it's the worst pain known to man. How do they gauge it? It's like, they must have some kind of penometer. Probably a German device. And then he goes into like different, like almost like a Looney Tunes thing with the dial. He goes, how bad's the pain? Very bad. Worst pain? No, it's not the word. Finally, step on the stonefish. Ah! Painometer goes, worst pain known to man.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love the difference because sometimes they'll say better and then sometimes they'll say better. And it depends on where the word comes in a sentence, right?
Yeah.
So,
the stonefish.
would you be considered also an impressionist?
I would, not to the likes of a Jim Meskimen or a Frank Caliendo, because I think that the Billy Crystal sound-alike goes beyond an impression.
Because you really try to be exact and make people believe that it's me, Sully. Put that joke back where it came from, so help me.
But if you want to do really famous stars and
yeah, everybody, Bobby De Niro, let me tell you, I hear things. No. You were rude to him. So, no, Al Pacino. You know who's great? The 4 different stages of Al Pacino when Kevin Pollak is interviewing Titus Welliver. And he's, Francis, I was doing Panic in the Park. And Mr. Coppola, he came and he does, it's freaky how great Titus Welliver is. So I'm decent, but I certainly recognize that there are people that have skills. But if you know, I think my Billy Connolly's pretty good.
Very
I don't know.
good. But your Billy Crystal, when I listen to it, it sounds like Billy, but it occurs to me also that the register is very close to almost Ray Romano, right?
It is. Ray Romano is a little bit, and it's weird because I'll do Mike Wazowski, right? Oh boy, Sully, I can't wait. My schmoopsy poo, we're going on a date. It's gonna be great.
And which is Panchito Pistoles, which is a guy named Joaquin Garay, who was a musician. He's like,
I'm Panchito Pistoles. It's all right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ray's a little deeper. I don't know why. It was in the movie Parenthood, and what are you doing? I don't understand.
And then there's
I'm a mastodon in this movie, and in this movie I play a leopard.
Yeah.
It's you, but yeah. So
we just watched the Ray Romano movie when Gene Hackman passed away. My wife and I watched Welcome to Mooseport. That was Gene Hackman's last movie.
Oh no, I'd love to see it because obviously both good. What a great actor that Ray Romano turned out to be. I mean,
tremendous.
It's actually a fun film. It got terrible reviews.
Okay,
but I really enjoyed it.
And for him to say Mooseport,
yeah,
right.
Perfect.
I'll watch it just to have him say Mooseport.
Mooseport.
Gene Hackman, I just watched 3 of his movies. Conversation, which was an amazing movie. The one of the last ones here where he was a CIA guy. I can't. Anyway, he's just so fantastic.
Yeah, the French Connection, Popeye Doyle was one of my favorite. Even the Poseidon Adventure.
Yeah.
You're going to the boiler room. You're going the wrong way.
Shelley Winters was everybody.
Shelley Winters.
Can you do women too?
Can I do women? Oh, everybody always did Joan Rivers. Oh my God, my show. I don't know.
I can do Scottish women. I did that for Mark.
Yeah, I did. Mrs. Doubtfire, that type of. But we used to, Auntie Liz used to talk like that.
Yeah.
Don't listen to Danny. He's not Celtic United. He's Protestant. He's a Ranger fan.
You know the Jewish joke, the Scottish Jewish joke? Yeah, the Catholics and the Protestants hate each other in Scotland.
I know this.
And if you're the wrong one walking down an alley at night,
Deadliest rivalry in football is what the documentary is
you
called.
could get slashed. You get the Glasgow smile, which is they cut your lips open like the Joker. So this Jewish guy is walking in Glasgow at night, and the guy comes up to him and goes, "All right, mate, are you Catholic or are you Protestant?" And he goes, I'm Jewish. He goes, well, are you a Catholic Jew or a Protestant Jew?
Yeah. There's one that starts the movie, The Deadliest Rivalry. You can check it out. And it's like, so there's an old joke that the Catholic guy tells. He says his grandfather's on his deathbed and he's dying left. He's like, I want you to come round. I've got one last request and I've got to let you know before I pass on that before I die, I'm going to convert to being a Protestant. He says, You've been a Catholic your whole life. Your whole family's all been about Catholicism. Why the hell would you want to convert to being a Protestant before you die? He says, that way when I go, there'll be one less pretty bastard on the planet.
That's a great joke.
You know, that reminded me a little of A Hard Day's Night, Paul McCartney.
Oh, yeah, the book.
Yeah. He's a clean old man.
He's a clean old man. Yeah, Liverpool, as you go up north.
Yeah, it sounds kind of Scottish, Liverpool.
Yeah,
right?
it's to me, I'm not educated enough, but there's some of these British impressionists that will go as you go up the region, Manchester, this, blah, 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 Norwich, blah, blah, and it's just like going coast to coast, right? Long Island is a little bit different than New York, then it's different from Jersey.
Right.
In Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn.
Staten Island has
Because
their own.
and Billy Crystal, the Bronx. He's got that D on his teeth. The Bronx.
But he's
Only
from
borough-
Long Beach, Long Island.
but isn't it weird? But yeah, I always associate him with the Bronx because he's a
It's
Yankee
the only
fan.
borough with the word "the" in it.
Yeah,
There's no the Brooklyn.
That's where
and
Mark's
Staten
from.
Island.
Mark's
the
from
Bronx. You're right.
And you're Yonkers?
I was born in Yonkers, New York, but I left like when I was 6 months old.
I like doing Paul McCartney now, like the impression. Do you ever see him in interviews? And he has like, I don't want to say it's a false humility, but that's how it almost looks.
Yeah.
Like, so he like, he's so famous. He always talks about the Beatles like they're so nothing almost.
Yeah.
So
Right.
so they'll be like,
We were just
we were just four boys, there was just four of us,
It was just a bond. It was just any other band.
One day we were playing our little instruments, and the next day we're in Ed Sullivan Theatre.
Shea Stadium.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does play it down. We're just a couple of guys.
You
got
should be
together.
doing voiceovers. What are you doing here in a bus?
All right. Tell me how.
I
don't
did
know.
one cartoon series,
You did? Which was it?
Two Stupid Dogs, with Brett Garrett.
Yeah.
Brett Garrett played Big Dog. I played Little Dog. It was
Yeah.
one of the great moments. So much fun. But they called me in for other things, but I could only do that one voice. I was,
You and Fred Stoller.
Yeah.
Fred Stoller was
Fred Stoller.
the wrench and the handy Manny. Manny, I'm very excited and I'm gonna come over.
Yeah.
It was so much
I
fun.
love Fred Stoller.
Fred is wonderful, but
Did you ever read his book?
no, I did not.
Seinfeld?
No, Fred Stoller wrote a book called The Life of a Perennial Guest Star.
Yes.
And first of all, it's a great book. And I know Fred, and I'm telling you, if you hear this, Fred, I mean this with love. It's the whiniest book I've ever read in my life. It really is.
Stop
But
whining.
in the funny Fred Stoller
Sure.
way.
Well, he whines.
Like, yeah. It's just
Yeah.
like, and then my mother.
Ma.
You're my mom.
Yeah, my mom.
She never wanted me to get in a car.
And then they told me, Freddie, they said that to me. They said, don't take that from the.
I traveled all the way from San Francisco to Chico with him doing a comedy gig at Top Flight. 4 hours in a car with Fred Stoller, my short film.
And then he goes,
Get out!
they have all these delightable delicacies at the set of Friends, and I'm not a regular. I'm just a guest star. I have to leave. They all get to stay. I never get to stay. They make me leave. That's
Great. That's a good Fred Stoller.
I probably saw him every night for the first 4 years of my career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're first starting out, is that called a career?
Yeah. Yeah, because you are launching a career from the ground.
You
You're
are.
in the mailroom.
You are.
Yeah,
And it really is
paid
now.
sets at the Holy City Zoo. That's the
How much did you get there?
Holy City Zoo. Oh, God, if you were lucky and it drew more than 4 people, you'd get like $5,
Yeah, that's what we got.
$3.
We got what they called cab fare in New York, and they would give you, and they like $6 to go from the Improv on 44th Street in a cab over to Catch a Rising Star on 77th Street.
Yeah.
So what year was that?
77, 78,
That's-
79.
So if you go from 79 and it was $5 you'd get, and fast forward to when I started in New York in 2002, it went down from
No.
$6 to
That's 'cause of
nothing.
all the
When you were
rideshare
starting out,
programs,
you'd
right?
get
I don't
nothing.
want to sound like an old guy, but it costs
Yeah.
about $40 for that ride now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when starting out comics get nothing in New York. They don't
Yeah.
get $6. They
Oh, you mean the cab went up, but the payment for comics
Yeah,
went
yeah.
down.
The comics, the $6. They're like, maybe
Well,
we could get
there
rid of
was
this.
a level at Catch a Rising
Yeah.
Star, not so at the comic strip. If you were kind of new and you passed the audition, you go to the bar and go, "Can I have a white wine?" And you go, "Did you go on tonight?" You were low on the bottom of the rung if you didn't. And you go, "If you didn't go on, we can't get." But then everybody else, once you're a regular, they just kept pouring all night. But
Yeah.
it was embarrassing. But yeah, it was the mailroom. It was like trying to become an agent.
Yeah.
They just buried you with.
I revered that time though. For me, it was an exploration of who I was.
It was incredible.
I was a jock in high school. I never did drama because you're one of those drama people. So it's like, how much do you bet? Should play sports and football, sports. And so and I love Carol Burnett, and I love Tim Conway, and I love All in the Family and Mary Tyler Moore. I secretly wanted to get there. I didn't know how. And so in college, I did mime and did a little stand up. And so
you did mime? Wow.
Yeah. So when we moved to San
mime is a terrible thing to waste.
Mime is a lovely thing to raise. So get out of here with you. You're trapped in the box now. Now you're in a real box. Have you ever seen The Vanishing? You there? Why are you always stuck? There's a wide open door behind you, for God's sakes.
So when you get into Billy, by the way, you have it more down than I do, obviously. But like, what can I do to improve?
I think you learn how to do your family in Scotland. You learn how to do your mom's voice by watching her. And so what I tell people is you pretend from the inside out. When people say, I don't do a character, I go, do you have a pet or a puppy?
Mm-hmm.
There's something about a dog's or a puppy's face.
But
that
what's
elicits-
missing in my Billy, for instance? In my Billy Connolly, like there's something there, like it's in your eyes.
It's right here, and you really have to. It's coming from here, and I see his face when I do it. I see his face first, and I make believe that I'm him.
So it's visually, and
great.
you know, for the first 50 hours of doing Mike Wazowski,
I thought, okay, I'm Billy Crystal that's doing this thing, and how is Billy's face when he talks? You know, I'm very tired. Don't do this to me. Okay, don't do it again. And then Mike Wazowski has a lip flap. If you watch the Mike Wazowski, his lip, he has it. So now I'm just thinking that I pretend to be Mike Wazowski. You know, Roz, one of these days,
I just see it from the inside out. And I think that's what helps.
Wow.
When I do John Haney, Carlos, let me tell you something, Carlos. If you go say right now, you go to freeze to death. I see his face. I pretend I'm him.
Yeah.
So you do it from the inside out.
So these days with, you know, the woke and all this stuff,
Sure.
could you go in and do an Indian accent, or do they have to get somebody from India?
Ooh, that's interesting. You can, and what have I done?
They may not know you're not from India.
This is interesting. We did you can check it out. It's called Off the Curb. It's an improv based comedy, 5 little parts, 4 minutes long each one. And it was Cedric Yarborough, my buddy, Gary Anthony Williams, Fred Tatasciore, John DiMaggio, and myself. I play a Filipino waiter named Edilberto, after my college professor in the Sacramento State.
Yeah.
And Fred plays a black guy, and John DiMaggio plays a bad guy. And when all this, after George Floyd, and we started to become more sort of sensitive, I asked Cedric, and I said, what do you think? And he goes, yeah, man, I think it might benefit to maybe have the white guys play maybe somebody from New Orleans instead of white guys playing. Even though John DiMaggio, Frankenstein will walk up on Dracula and whoop him right in the ass. It's pretty good, but it's like, yeah, I get it. Okay. So let me see. Am I playing any characters that are outside of my ethnicity? Well, El Chupacabra, I played on Planes, who was Mexican. I'm Argentinian. So technically I'm not Mexican, but I'm allowed to play at least a Latin character. But although Phil Lamar, very talented voice actor, Mad TV, plays white, English, whatever, he's black. But yeah, there is some cultural sensitivity now. I was on a Filipino show called Trece, and I played Trece's father, who interestingly enough did not have the lower class accent, more close to the Spanish accent, because as you get higher up the socioeconomic ladder, as Glasgow as opposed to Edinburgh, which is a little bit more refined, right?
Right.
Glasgow, you're gonna get a malky right in your head, boom. But it's different. It's more guttural. It's harder. Blythe Shipyard.
Right.
So there's that element. But in any case, yeah, that was the one show where I felt kind of, Eric Bauza, who does Bugs Bunny, he's from Toronto, he's Filipino. He suggested me for the show, and I think he ushered me in. But without that, that might have been hard for me to play a Filipino because I'm not Filipino. So,
Did you ever meet my Auntie Olga of blessed memory from Scotland?
No.
No, you wouldn't have. But I can do a perfect Auntie Olga. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
She goes, Daniel, your gran gave me a perfume, and it was a very smelly perfume. And I don't like taking anything from anyone because you never know who had it before. It could be secondhand. And I'm not saying your gran bought it secondhand, but it could be. And you don't know if an evil man had it. And if an evil man had it, it's got the evil eye on it. And I think that your gran gave me this smelly perfume that had an evil eye on it. Because no sooner than I put it on, a bee come and stung me.
That's perfect. See, that's beautiful. That's such an original. You got to do voiceover. I'm gonna hook you up because it's an original, wonderful character. I can see her.
Yeah.
And that's how indelible that character is in you.
Yeah.
I do my Uncle
I love
Wayne, who had his vocal cords cut out.
Let's hear him.
Spot on.
I've had you do
So
this.
you could have, right?
I've had him do it before, but he does the best cowardly lion from The Wizard of Oz.
King of the forest.
I do one little accent in my act, 3 words. So the bit is, people from England always sound upbeat, no matter what's wrong. Upbeat. I've got syphilis. That's right, I got syphilis. Me mom's got syphilis.
And your Bob Dylan
That's
joke.
great.
You have a
Yeah.
great Bob Dylan joke.
Oh, Bob Dylan at the
Proctologist.
yeah, Bob Dylan the proctologist. Ah. Bob Dylan singing. Ah. Bob Dylan at Thanksgiving. Pass the peas, please.
That's great.
That's it.
I remember
love
Mike
it.
Ferrucci, and it's a swear word, so I'll bleep it out. I was like, my impression of an upset Ed Sullivan. Where the blank are those Beatles?
Wow. Just sitting here watching you, it's amazing.
I'm blown away by Danny because I didn't know he had this bag of tricks, and the Glasgow connection for me is really.
Do you do it on stage? Do you use these different
I
voices?
do a little bit. I do. I have a Scottish bit that I do about
You should do
the
it
battle
because
with obesity.
it's so
yeah.
good and it's exciting for the audience.
it comes from a perspective that's honest.
I
Yeah.
I pepper it in because I didn't want to become an impressionist on stage, like one of these guys who just goes up and does characters, and then
But
you
Billy
don't write
Crystal would do
jokes.
Muhammad Ali and his.
Right.
He
Yeah.
didn't.
Right.
He did more couple of little things.
Right, like whatever.
Seinfeld had a joke
Yeah.
about things on loan. He said he was at the Space Museum and there's a little thing. It's a toothbrush
Yeah.
and it says on loan from Neil Armstrong. He goes, "Come on, Neil, give him the toothbrush. What are you don't want this thing back."
By the way, I just did a New Zealand accent by accident.
New
It's
Zealand.
pretty good. I think
Anything is good in New Zealand because nobody knows what those people sound like. So you're going to get away with murder here.
so. You've got a good start because what your experience in imitating a Scottish accent has given you the gift of manipulating vowels, right?
Mhm.
So the O in Scottish, like, that guy's a goner. He's a goner.
Yeah.
It's a go. It's a different sound, right? So in Spanish, a, e, I, o, u. Supposed to California's a, e, I, o, u. What's up? My wife will make fun of me. I'll go, where's it located? On the corner of Hollywood and Verdugo. She's like, Verdugo? Yeah, isn't it horrible? She's from Jersey. But so, yeah, you have now, because that's why you're Australian, or as you called it, New Zealand is
Yeah.
pretty good because you know how to manipulate that sound
Right.
already. And your voice, is a windpipe. So you're
Yeah.
just manipulating air to come out in a different direction. And it does matter how you hold your face when those voices come out.
Yeah.
How long have you been married?
I've been married. Let me get this right. We're coming up on 15 years, 14 and a half years.
Okay, I'm 35. You're 12.
Yeah.
No. Well, I guess we've been living together for 15. Does that count?
Yeah.
We've been married
You're
for
locked
9.
in.
9. Okay.
Yeah,
So what
married.
voice do you listen? I don't know. You fight with your wife. I fight with mine sometimes.
yeah.
He always. But constantly. You should. When I come here, I can't even. I'm afraid to go in the house.
Yeah.
It's not
Things,
true.
yeah. So, what kind of voice do you use when you get in a fight with the
I
wife?
do Keith Morrison from Dateline, so she knows. I mean, they were in love, but she made a sound, a rude remark. It would be the last remark she ever made. No, I don't know. I'll do the Jersey thing just because I've always wanted to be from Jersey and be that kind of person. And she'll like that. Whatever, stop. Yeah, so I'll do.
What are you, kind of that kind of thing. What are you talking to me? Get out of here with that. Get out of there.
Joe Pesci almost.
Joe Pesci, yeah, get out of there.
You know,
Winslow. I did a character called named Winslow on Cat Dog. He's like,
What are you, nuts? Hey, cat dog.
I forgot how Pesci. I saw the first 5 minutes. Maybe was it Goodfellas the
Yeah.
other day on a plane? I was watching this. I forgot how funny the opening scene is. So they're driving. It's Pesci, De Niro.
Oh yeah, and they got the thing in the trunk.
And somebody's kicking. There's your noise. They go,
Yeah.
What's that? What's that? So they stop and they open the trunk and it's all blood and the guy's still alive. And Pesci just pulls a knife out. It's this long
Yeah.
out of his pants. And it's so funny. Nobody in the world keeps a knife
Yeah.
this long. So start stabbing the guy. And nobody, of course, is affected by this. The
No.
three of them.
They
And
go
then
to
De
have a
Niro
nice.
goes
They
and
go
shoots
to.
him 6 times after.
Did you ever see Jim Brewer do the Joe Pesci show on Saturday Night Live?
So good.
It was so good. And I just heard a clip, the podcast clips, we have them that pop up on YouTube. So one of them popped up and I was so excited because it was like, Brewer talks about the Joe Pesci show. And he said that Pesci basically shut it down. He came on the show. And then afterwards, he's like, what are you doing all these,
Yeah.
You got to shut it down.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
You're amazing at what you do. You too. But who is like considered the greatest voiceover person? And why? The question is, what makes them better than anybody else?
It's flavor, right? It's very subjective because I love Mescamin.
Mel Blanc, maybe?
Mel Blanc in terms of creating his own characters, but if you're talking impressionists, there's Frank Caliendo, there's Jim Mescamin, there's a couple of really young guys on TikTok that are just phenomenal. And I think, I think the best Al Pacino I've ever seen is Titus Welliver. And what makes his the best is he embodies him. And again, it starts with just his hands. It doesn't start with the voice. It starts with the mannerisms. And like you said, Frank, because the old one, okay, don't ask me about. But yeah, I'm hypnotized. So I think it starts.
Wow.
It's like
But
a
for
comic.
voices, I can't imagine anybody better than you. I mean, who could do?
Tom Kenny with in terms of fame or
I
notoriety.
want to
D.
get
Bradley
Tom,
Baker.
We
with
got
his
to get
animal
Tom
sound.
Kenny on this show. I
We
once
had Maurice LaMarche.
Yeah.
who's been a
Maurice
friend of
LaMarche
mine.
is so gifted.
He's
so.
been a friend of mine for
Yeah.
35 years.
When I was a kid, it was Rich Little, right? Rich Little was the guy.
Who I just saw recently.
Yeah.
Well, about a year and a half ago, he was at the Tropicana.
Yeah.
He had a show 6 days a week there, a 6 p.m. show. The problem with the show, and he's so freaking good, and he worked with every giant celebrity in the business ever
Yeah.
from that era. He still does those impressions,
Yeah.
and the young audience comes, they have no idea who John Wayne
All right,
was.
here next on my act is who's gifted is Jamie Foxx.
Jamie's
His
very fun.
Oh, yeah.
ability to mimic his Trump is very good. I love the guy, Jamie Foxx. He's a fox. Some say he's a fox. He's a dog.
I saw Trump on TV
Yeah.
just 3 days ago doing that. And you would think he would maybe stop it by now because so many people do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That I'm going, is he actually doing an impression of himself? I'm
Yeah.
watching Trump and going, he's doing an impression of himself, isn't he?
By the
I don't want to be
way,
here anymore. I don't want to do this.
one of my favorite impressions I've ever seen was hanging out in the green room once with Jay Moore,
Yeah.
and Jay Moore did Pat Cooper. And he did Pat Cooper like so well. It was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay Moore was good. He was one of the best walk-ins that when all the Christopher Walkens, I think he was one of the first to do it. Yeah, there's so many gifted people. I think Frank Caliendo. There's a guy that I think you should check out. Josh Robert Thompson is incredible. His George Lucas, his Goldblum, he doubles, and Caliendo has a great Morgan Freeman. The best Morgan Freeman is this kid, Josh Robert Thompson from Cleveland. Just look him up, Josh Robert Thompson.
All right.
I was a boy back in 1975. His Morgan Freeman, you know what you're saying. You're saying, how could this voice come out of this white boy? It's so good. Josh Robert Thompson, I think, is underrated and one of my favorite vocalists, impressionists. But in terms of original characters,
You ever
there
hear
are
Doug
guys.
Stark?
Pardon me?
Doug Starks.
Oh, I
He
think I know
does
that.
an incredible Sammy Davis Jr.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Jim Carrey did a very good Sammy Davis
Yeah.
Jr.
He
In
did-
his, in his act in his early days.
Yeah, and as James Dean when he would turn around and just make the face and
Yes.
he
He was known as Rubberface, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Jim Carrey, they called him that.
yeah.
He would sing Bojangles as I know he did.
Yeah, no,
Jim Carrey did that as
Sammy.
Sammy.
Mr. Bojangles.
Yeah.
I used to do Sammy Davis Jr. on Wheel of Fortune.
I'd like to buy an eye.
So bad.
So you have videos online to
Yeah.
teach people how to do this stuff,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
got to, which is very nice. And
Yeah, you can. I actually I have a segment on my Instagram. I think it's on TikTok. It was like how I came up with the voice. One of my more popular voices is a character named Mr. Crocker from Fairly Odd Parents. And somebody said, "Hey man, you're doing sounds a lot like Montgomery Burns from The Simpsons." I go, "That's because I'm stealing from the best, Harry Shearer." So Mr. Crocker's voice is, "All right, Timmy Turner, I know who did it. You're Fairly Odd Parents." And they said, "Okay, what was that voice?" I go, "Here's how I came up with it. Visual reference. He's got ears on his neck. He's hunched over." And I'm like, "Yeah, there's got to be a little bit of Montgomery Burns in there." "All right, Smithers, revenge is a dish best served cold." So a little bit higher. All right. Pitch that up. Speed it up a little bit. So there's that element.
Yeah.
Then there's Richard Dreyfuss, which is mannequin. There is a shark in the water. And then Gene Wilder, "You are not evil. You are good." Mixes all together, stir them up, and you get Timmy Turner, Very Good Parents. And that's how that
great.
voice was. So there's a segment about how I came up with each voice or how I think I
So
created it.
nobody teaches. Nobody teaches. You learned this all by yourself,
Yes.
right? Right. There's no school to go learn. You sat at home and learned these voices, just like I did with my comedy. I went on stage and then I went back home and I practiced and I wrote.
Yeah, that's what you do. You refine, and there are things to pull the voice out of you and teach you where to pull the voice from. Like,
How do you do Billy Connolly? And if I think about it, I think I'm almost doing it through my eyes.
So there are people that can tell you where your voice is placed and how to squeeze it and manipulate it. Like, I can't do as good of a great walk-in or bassier characters than my friends who have that low-end range. Like, my Morgan Freeman is going to have this tenor. Josh Robert Thompson's tenor is so much lower and bassier that, man, I can't get there. I don't have the windpipe.
By the way, I once interviewed Billy Connolly for my podcast, an old podcast, and it was so amazing. Like, he's a hero of mine. Anyway, I want to bring our engineer Swice on for 1 minute because he's a big fan of yours.
Oh yeah.
And you brought up the Fairly
Odd Parents.
Fairly Odd Parents, and
Ding.
and I just wanted to let you guys meet for a second.
Yeah, he's wise.
What's going on?
What's going on?
It's great to be here. Appreciate you
Yeah.
guys.
You're welcome.
You grew up on that show, right?
I would say every morning, I was the only child, so like I had a TV in my room, that kind of stuff. Good treatment, right? But yeah, I would keep Nickelodeon on all the time, and Fairly Odd Parents ran all the time. SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, Rugrats,
Rocko's.
I started with Rocko.
It's from SpongeBob, and he's coming back this year. It's like, "What's up, SpongeBob? You ripped your pants."
That guy.
High tide. Which, and I've done this in public, I gave credit to Mike Pace, a very great comedian from St. Louis, because he used to have a character in his act like, "Hey, Pace, you gonna come surfing or what?" All right. And then there was a guy named Dave who worked in a liquor store when I worked in a liquor store, and his laugh was like, "Ha!" So I married the two together. I'm going to do Pace's character a little bit higher, and then add the laugh, and there you go. You got Scooter. But yeah, I also played Dinkelberg. "Hey, neighbor."
You're a
And
Dingleberg.
Juanissimo. One, I have always loved you.
Twice. Can you do one of those characters?
I could do the episode when Mr. Crocker loses his job.
Oh, God.
Remember that one?
I don't. I'm
No.
so old.
By the
Oh
way, it's
my
a safety with Jerry
Can you give me a
Seinfeld.
line from it?
Seinfeld.
You went back to Mr. Crocker went back to the crib and he was just beat down, and it was cool because you got to see like what you thought his life was like. You said, like Hunchback of Notre Dame, like
Living with his mom.
right, dirty apartment, like like he wasn't nothing, so it was just cool to get that kind of
Well, I'll
experience.
just go back home to my cat girlfriend.
Right, miserable.
Denzel, I hope you're not moping around. Leave me alone, mother. There's a lot of Anthony Hopkins repressed
Thank
stuff in
you.
there.
Of
That-
course.
That's. I'm
thank
glad
you.
that resonates with you, and I love that. Like many people I know, you know so much. And here's the thing: voiceover hits people on a different level because you associate the animated rendered version of it, and so when you hear it from a human being, it holds more weight than just meeting a comic.
Yeah.
Like I remember Tom Kenny said Mike Tyson's like,
Hey, I just want to tell you what SpongeBob, it's like so dear to me, and I love you for SpongeBob.
It's like, okay, so because that connection is just, and I didn't get it until I'm talking with my friends D Baker, Fred Tatasciore, brilliant voiceover guys. I didn't get all this fandom stuff,
Right.
And then they said, "Oh, I suck at video games. I only know how to play Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2." And D goes, "I'm the spitter." And I'm like, "Oh." And Fred goes, I'm Boomer. The guy's, I'm like, oh my God, no way. And I totally fanboyed out.
D. Baker, Perry?
Platypus, Perry the
Perry?
Platypus, yeah.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. These creature sounds and noises are otherworldly.
Whenever he
So, yeah.
All right.
Appreciate you
Twice,
guys.
ladies and gentlemen.
Twice.
Appreciate you
I'm
guys.
glad-
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to go with you to karaoke one of these days because
Karaoke.
when you do karaoke, do you do it as the different people?
I used to yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away.
Yeah, I mean, like I like going
Love
up
was
and
such an easy game
doing
to
like
play.
Billy Joel as Billy Joel, or
You know who? Oh God, what was his name? He was on Kevin Can Wait. Oh, he does the
Warren Beatty?
no, the something
Charles
no tires.
Grodin.
He does the
Charles
tire commercial. He's
Charles-
from Long Island.
Charles Grodin.
No. He was on the Kevin Can Wait podcast.
Kevin can wait.
Sitcom.
I thought you said Heaven Can Wait.
And his Billy Joel was really good because he's from Long Island. Billy's from Long Island.
yeah. I mean, I could do Billy Joel when singing Billy Joel
Oh wow,
very well.
love to hear that.
And sometimes I can really nail Paul Simon too.
Yeah, that's great. I'd love to
and-
see that. Singing
yeah.
impressions that are spot on are
Yeah.
really fun to watch.
Elton John, I can do.
Let's hear a drop
I can
of
do a little Elton John.
Mars ain't the type of place
Yeah,
to raise your
where,
kid.
that's where I was going to too. But here's one that might be easier. He has a song like "Free Like Horses."
Yeah.
To be free like horses one day. You know, so
He's got the
free to reign on your old down fences. My throat's a little hoarse too, but I could do him. I could do.
I love you just the way you are.
I love you just the way you. No, I'm not even doing
Whenever
it. anymore.
When people sing with a record, like when I sing with a record, I actually think I sound like that person.
Some folks
Yeah.
like to
But
get
it's-
away.
We
There
just
it
trick
is.
ourselves.
Yeah, they go.
Take a holiday from the neighborhood.
We just saw him
Hop
at
a
the Institute.
flight. Yeah.
You saw him?
Bottle of red, bottle of white.
Elvis is always fun to do too.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So, but yeah, I'm a good singing impressionist, better than a speaking impressionist.
I like. Yeah, that's a gift. It's a gift.
Shall we gift?
It's
shall
a wee
we?
gift.
So you do the Comic Cons and all that?
I do the smaller Comic Cons, and they're all over. I have a schedule on my Instagram. If we get to that point in the podcast where we say,
So what do
we're-
you do there when you
where
go
can
there?
we sign autographs. You have a booth. You're like John Candy in Trains, Planes, and Automobiles. You're a shower curtain salesman, except the product is you.
And what
And
do
you have a
bring-
banner behind you, and people say, "Oh, I loved you as so and so," and you sign prints, or you sign pop dolls, or you sign tattoos,
Do you
or
like
whatever.
doing it?
I love it because it's the opposite. It's the inversion of being a stand-up on the road.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I after a while, I go, I don't want to be anybody's entertainment on a Saturday night. I'm tired. I want to be entertained, and I'm alone 22 hours a day on the road. I went to see a movie that killed 2 hours. Now what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna write. Too depressed to write. I'm gonna go for a walk. There's no place to walk because we're surrounded by freeways. I'm gonna take a nap. Time for the show. Woo! So like, no, you go there. They already love you. You don't have to perform. You sign autographs. You hang out with them all day, and then your agent goes, "Oh, we're gonna go out to dinner tonight with David Harbour from Stranger Things. You want to go?" Yes. And I'm meeting. For me, I'm a big Blade Runner fan. So Sean Young, I've met. I got to talk to Carl Weathers. I got to meet OneCon, the Fan Expo in Toronto. A voice agent comes by and goes, "Hey, I have a client that's a big wants to get into voiceovers. I'm a big fan of you. Would you mind talking to her? It's Mia Farrow." I'm like, okay, that's
Mia
a lot
Farrow.
better than doing a Friday night second show with two
Did you
bachorette
talk
parties.
to Mia Farrow?
I did. I sat down and talked
What
to
was
her.
that like?
It was wonderful. She's very open, very honest. And I actually asked her about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and she says, I couldn't see the movie because I knew Sharon Tate. And I said, but once you found out about the alternate ending, she goes, yeah, once I found out that it was an alternate ending.
Was she in that?
No, Sharon Tate.
No, I know the story. I saw the movie,
But it's a different rendered version of where Sharon Tate escapes her fate in real life. In the movie,
Right,
it doesn't
yeah.
happen. And so,
yeah.
but yeah, she was really nice and wanted to know because of her acting background. Rosemary's Baby is still probably one
Right.
of the-
Tremendous.
Did you talk about Woody?
no, no, she's no, mum's the word.
Do voice people have groupies?
Yes, they do, and
Do you
they
have their phone numbers?
do. I get their phone
Or
numbers?
do you have one I can?
Oh yeah, I can set it up for you. Yeah, there's a fan club.
So what's that like? They come over to the desk, a woman, and
A lot of kids on the spectrum, a lot of adults on the spectrum, and they are very knowledgeable. They're very open. I'll meet soldiers that have toured Iraq and Afghanistan and say, man, when Reno 911 is on, or I watched Rocko's Modern Life as a kid, there's a game I do called Spyro the Dragon on PS1. And it was a nothing voice like,
Watch out for Nasty Nork. I'm Spyro the Dragon, and I'm gonna beat this game.
but people love it
By
because it's
the way,
not.
your character from Reno, I was just showing
Oh, Garcia?
Mark. Yeah, I was just showing Mark because he
The
had
Jehovah's
seen
Witnesses scene.
Reno 911.
Oh yeah,
It's holds up so well. It's so
really
funny.
does.
It's really, really, that character is just so funny.
he's so conflicted. Always wanted to do right by the law, and okay, we're gonna. No, we did a sketch called Good Cop. It was in the rehearsal. It was called Good Cop, Bad Cop. It's what we have somebody in the holding cell, and we're going to talk to the camera and tell you that what we're going to do is I'm going to go in and talk to him first. Then my partner's going to go into, and Cedric's my partner, and he's black. And I said, we're going to do something that's called, I'm going to go in and soften him up, and then he's going to do the finish. It's something we like to call Good Cop, Black Cop. And he's like, what? Good Cop, Black Cop. No, it's not Good Cop, Black Cop. It's Good Cop, Bad Cop. Well, whatever. I don't want to get into semantics. Black cop, bad cop, it's the same thing. He's like, no, it's not the same thing. And we get this big fight. And we end up choking each other. And the door is open. And the guy just leaves.
So you have the people come over to it, and they probably do impressions.
They do. They
For
do
you,
your
right?
character.
They do it.
And like Swice, they'll know lines from your shows that you have forgotten and you don't remember. They'll know whole episodes. And it's really endearing because I'll be at a con. I know Tom Wilson from stand-up comedy,
Sure.
Philadelphia, and Back to the Future in Rhode Island had their own floor with Michael J. Fox, Chris Lloyd, and Leah Thompson.
Oh wow.
And there's big shots there, but somebody will come up to you and go, I traveled all this way just to see you. And I'm like, you have better choices. I'm freaking Southwest. You could fly
Yeah, right.
Virgin Air. Like, no, they
Wow.
know what you did and they love you. And it's very precise.
When I do Comic Cons, totally different experience because I'm there selling my comic books
Mhm.
that nobody's heard of.
Right.
It's
And
tough.
so no one comes up to me. I have to, it's much harder than performing stand up because I have to pull people up
Yeah.
to a table without an act. And like you come up with like a table type of act, but to try and get people, you have some funny lines or whatever. But I remember, you remember, know who Harvey Picar was?
No, I'm not sure.
He had a comic book series called American Splendor, and they made a movie with Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti, yeah.
So he was like my original friend and mentor, not Paul, but the real guy, Harvey Picar. And I was like, when you go to these Comic Cons, like, what's it like? And he was already like a miserable guy, but he was like, terrible, the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Because if you ever make comic books, you'll see it's just horrible. It's just terrible. You just sit there and everybody walks right past you and nobody cares about anything. And if you're lucky, you make enough money to pay for your table. And he was 1,000% right. It's exactly the experience that I have.
Yeah, it's interesting, but it's relative, right? I'll go, and I'm pretty well known, but I'll be right next to Tom Kenny, who has an endless line, and my line ends. And there might be 2 hours that there's nobody there.
So,
So-
how,
and
do-
then
how do
there's
they know
other-
what you do by seeing you? I mean, do they have what
Yeah,
you've
they,
done on
they
the table?
they'll like okay, so I'm going to my next con, for example, is in Richmond, Virginia, and I'm one of the celebrity guests, as it were, and I'm listed as Carlos Alazraqui from Reno, from Rocko, from Fairly Odd Parents, and they're
Okay,
my posters
gotcha.
on the thing. But I'm not a comic book guy, but through the cons, one of my agent represented Tony Isabella, who created Black Lightning,
Okay.
and he gave me the signed copy of the thing, and I just recently read. I've had it for years. I'm like, let me read this. And it's really good. And then I went, oh, they made a show out of it on the CW. And I'm like, oh, they blew it.
Uh-huh.
It's nowhere near what the comic book is. I like the Watchmen, but
Yeah,
artists,
that's great. That's
for
great.
some reason, unless you're Stan Lee,
Right.
you're not as revered, because obviously it's a more oral visual thing when you're that character. If Tom created, I think between Steve Hillenburg and Tom Kenny, when Steve was living, I think Tom would be more popular because he's
Yeah.
SpongeBob, even though
They call
Hillenburg
it Artist
created it.
Alley. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Artist Alley, and it's really like the alleys. Like there's the real Comic Con, and then there's like the back alleys with the sad little artists scratching around.
I would never go to sign at San Diego Comic-Con because if you're not part of the big freaking studio, or you're not part of a Nickelodeon package or a Cartoon Network package or whatever, you're not gonna do well.
I think Maurice
The
goes there.
smaller cons, Maurice goes with Rob Paulson from Animaniacs, and they do their little Pink in the Brain thing,
yeah.
and they do quite well. And Rob's line is endless, and he has so effusive, and he's like, man, Carlos, I got to tell you, you're fantastic. He's just one of those guys that makes you feel better.
Yeah.
But he always has a line. So the smaller cons is where you're liable to attract more fans as opposed to the big New York Comic Con or San Diego Comic Con because they're big folks are there. So, but I was at one of the last cons I was at was Nostalgia Con in Houston, Texas, George R. Brown Convention Center. Dave Foley's like, nobody's coming by. And like, he goes, where are you located, Dave? He's like, oh, right next to Kevin Spacey. And Kevin, because of his recent history, nobody was really coming by.
Oh,
you
wow,
know?
really?
And he was trying it out. Do people forgive me? Am I marketable again? He's one of the best actors on the planet.
That's surprising that people didn't forgive him at the Comic-Con. Like, I would think they would.
And this is the beautiful thing. And then comedy has this aspect too, is that the thing I love about Comic-Cons, you can be a furry, you can be a Therian with a cat and wolf mask, and you could be dress up like a transformer. Nobody cares. There's no judgment there. It's just, is it false? Is it a false sense of security when you leave? Yeah, it's going to be different because there's the real world. But at least in there, I'm a jock, and now I'm accepted by nerds.
Right.
It's like I always want to be accepted by the jocks.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, I hope nerds love me.
Do you get your script the night before?
Yes, mostly. And sometimes you'll get a storyboard, so you'll get to visually see how the panels play out in the story. And sometimes it's just written. And sometimes you know the character so well that you pretty much know what's going to happen. I'm on a show now called Rock, Paper, Scissors with Tom Lennon and Ron Funches. I play Scissors. I know that character pretty well, so I won't get a visual reference of how it's going to play out, but I will read the script and go, okay, I think I know how he's going to react in this situation. And then I'll get directed. Everybody steers you home to the right path.
Right.
The director's there in the sound booth?
Yeah. Well, if I go into Nickelodeon, they're there with me across the glass for most of my recordings, especially for Rock, Paper, Scissors. I'm at my little whisper booth in my garage.
I got the answers yes to this, but has there ever been a character you couldn't get?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's
Really?
I mean, in terms of a celebrity impression, many. And in terms of characters where I was auditioning, I'm just like, I just can't get there. I hear you. It was on SpongeBob, and Tom Kenny's my director, and it was a director. It's like, you there, put this there, put that over there, put this here. And Tom was giving me these specific directions. I go, I hear you, Tom, but I just can't get there with this character. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I can't get there today. He's like, it's okay. I'll get you there. I'll just line read it, and we'll patch it together, and it'll work. And you're like, I've been doing this for 30 plus years, and there's always one that's just gonna, I'm hearing it. And I can't reproduce it.
Wow.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Have you ever worked with anybody who was just couldn't do it?
Yeah. It was most of the times it was big celebrities who were used to acting off someone to get something back.
Here you're not.
And Billy West said what makes us good as comics is we have theater of the mind. We see the bit, we write the bit, we produce the bit, we direct a bit, and we spit it back out. We can see everything that's happening in a situation.
Yeah. And you get a lot of big stars that come in with you.
Yeah, you'll get some big stars.
Who's come in?
And they'll freeze. But back in the day, I mean, John Rhys Davies, is that his name from Lord of the Rings?
Mm-hmm.
Who plays the Scottish guy. But
he was like, wow, this is wonderful what you're doing. I'm not used to this.
It was, of course, brilliant, but it was awkward for him because there was nobody. It wasn't theater. It wasn't a movie where I'm playing. It's like, you have to imagine. It's a lot better when you have an ensemble. And in Happy Feet, we had all the partitions up. And George Miller would bow his head and go, okay, guys, this scene, you're coming up and mumble, and he hasn't seen you in years, and you're really excited, okay? So just go for it. And he'd go, yeah. Well, you said something. Go do that again. And Robin... Yeah. Okay, let's do it again. And he would direct in that style, but it was very symphonic because we could bounce off each other. But more often than not, you're by yourself. Occasionally, a director will lead the line before to lead you in, but mostly you're just doing your own lines. And
and what? Sorry.
And we have theater of the mind. I can do it.
If I'm doing a Billy Crystal toy, you're the big bully. You're always bossing people around.
I know. I can see like a comic. Yeah. I know what that scene is. So I don't need anybody to bounce. We don't need anybody to bounce off.
Did you ever meet Marlon Brando?
I never met Marlon Brando. I'm old enough, but no.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to hear.
So didn't really meet him. So what happened was he was on the Tom Snyder show. You remember Tom?
Oh, Tom Schneider, yes.
He had a talk show. He would sit there. and
NBC,
smoke,
1 o'clock.
Yeah, and he smoked cigarette. It was called Later with Tom Snyder.
Later with Tom Schneider, because
So
we used to watch SCTV right after it.
Right. So Brando was on the show. I
Mhm.
heard he was going to be on the show, and I don't think Snyder had an audience. It was just the two of them sitting in a chair. So we knew. So we went to NBC. I went with my friend Bernie Ferrara, and we went to NBC. And we stood. This is when you can actually walk into the building. There were no real guards. It was late at night. It's like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And we're standing there. There's one elevator, and Brando comes off the elevator.
Wow.
And we said hello.
Mhm.
And we said, "Can we walk with you?" And we walked a couple blocks, and we sat on like a thing of a building, a little ledge.
Mhm.
And we talked for like 5 minutes. It was very nice. And we took pictures of him. He let us take pictures of him.
Wow.
And we took the roll. We went to the New York Times and said, we got a whole roll of photos of Marlon Brando. And we gave it to them, and none of the pictures came out.
Oh, wow.
It was like a dead roll. Didn't have light. No, it was horrible.
Oh, man.
But he was so kind to us.
Oh,
And he
wow.
wrote a wonderful book. His autobiography is just incredible.
You've read it?
Wow. No, I have not.
It's
I have
900
not.
pages.
I just rewatched Streetcar
Yeah.
because I'm in an acting class.
And I have a granddaughter named Stella.
Yeah. When I've got a daughter named Ella. So now I go around the house yelling, Ella!
Streetcar named Desire. On the waterfront, too, I had to do a scene in acting class. The boys are calling me a cheese eater. I could have won the Wilson fight. And how do you not do it like him? How do you do your own
Yeah.
version of that in acting class?
I
That
knew
was so hard.
Rod Steiger a little.
Yeah, he was great.
He was amazing actor. And,
Heat of the Night, man. What a movie.
Yeah. Sidney
Sidney
Poitier,
Poitier.
right? Yeah.
Oh, man.
So when Rod Steiger, when you just have a conversation with you, it's incredible. It's like he just sucks you in. I mean,
Yeah.
he doesn't talk. He didn't talk normal. It would just be like intense and just the way it
Yeah.
was. Pawnbroker, which is an amazing movie. You ever see this?
No.
You should see
No.
this. It's about a Holocaust guy, and he owns a pawn shop, and he works with this little Puerto Rican guy.
I never heard anyone described as a Holocaust guy. Like,
Yeah. Like he's a Holocaust guy. You know what I mean? Like you got.
he gives off a real Holocausty vibe. He wasn't there.
You know,
or
a
anything.
deli
Sounds
guy
like a
works in a
State
deli,
Farm
a deli
commercial.
guy, you got a Holocaust guy. I heaven forgive me here. You know, I didn't mean to belittle the guy. No, he was a Holocaust. Anyway, it's well worth seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Well, we have a few stories we usually round off the show with.
Sure.
We're gonna riff off them.
Okay.
They're mostly silly stories from
Okay.
the news.
And we
so,
try this. This will bring you back to stand-up day.
Sure, let's do it.
So
Yeah.
what we're trying to do is find something funny in these stories.
Yeah, let's do it.
So
Hopefully
this
they-
Holocaust guy.
Yeah,
you know,
Holocaust guy.
Go ahead, try to find something funny there. You got it there. I guess?
There's a new cartoon voice for you to do Holocaust
That's
guy.
guy.
Holocaust guy, a new cartoon.
Bum, bum,
From
bum,
Hanna-Barbera.
bum, bum. Holocaust guy.
I'm hungry.
They never made a cartoon. What was the guy? They had the cartoon, the drawing books. It was about the Holocaust.
Mouse.
Mouse. Did they
Yeah.
ever do a?
No, they never
No.
animated Mouse.
No.
Did they ever
That
do
was
a
kid's cartoon
Holocaust
for Nickelodeon?
cartoon at all? I
No.
would say cartoon animation.
No, I think.
No,
it-
I don't mean it in a joking way.
I know
mean
you
a
don't.
Serious.
But how would they do that? Like, oh,
Like,
you
they would
mean like
never
a
do
serious
shit-
show?
yeah,
Oh,
They would never like Schindler's List would
Oh, yeah,
never been
actually-
animated.
Not as like a kid's morning Sunday morning cartoon.
Hi, everybody. We're going to camp today.
Oh, boy.
Are you ready to work?
Who wants to wash up? So here's one. Did you see the Alec Baldwin video with his wife? You know about this?
No. I
So-
haven't heard about him since Rust.
Right. That was. They finished the movie.
I think so.
Is it going to come out?
I believe it's going to be released in some fashion.
Wow.
You know, when he shoots a movie, he shoots a movie.
That's right.
I got to be honest with you.
Shoots
This
the
guy-
whole movie.
He shoots the-
One take.
So his wife, Hilaria, which it's the greatest name.
Yeah.
It really is.
I think her real name is Hillary, and she changed it to Hilaria.
The sailors going on the ship. Take your lime juice so you don't get your
And
hilaria.
they've gotten on her about her voice, right? They said it was phony. Don't you? You know all that controversy
yeah, with
about her?
when Britney Spears kind of faked an English accent for a while.
Or Spanish? Or,
She was
Spanish.
doing a thing like what was so funny about it. I remember this. They had a video going around on YouTube of her at one point. So her name is Hillary, and she's like not from
She's-
Latin America or anything,
Yeah.
but she was talking like she is, and she changed her name to Hilaria, which is
Hilaria.
hilarious. And then she's going in this. She's like, "I have the how you say?" Like she faked that. Like she
Yeah.
didn't know how to say. She goes, "Cucumber." How'd you say cucumber? Like
pepinos. Cucumber.
She's so crazy that she pretended she didn't remember how to say cucumber.
Well, the dead giveaway, if her name really was, as she said, it would be Hilaria. You wouldn't pronounce the H.
Yeah,
So that's
Hilaria.
the tell right there. My name is Hilaria. Faker. The H is silent. Get out of here with that.
Thanks for coming down. All our contestants will.
So what happened was they were being interviewed. They have this reality show, which I saw the first episode. And it was really terrible. It was no, actually it was ridiculous because there's two of the friendliest people, Alec and his wife. They're so friendly, and the kids, and you don't see any nannies anywhere in this, so you know it's a complete crock because they got 40 people working for them. So she is talking, and he says something, and she shuts him up in front of the camera.
Yeah, she goes, "I'm talking. I'm talking.
I'm talking. Don't
This
step
interview
on.
is for closers.
And Alex just kind of floats away a little.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Ooh. So probably manufactured, wanting to show that he is more docile. He can yield to a woman as opposed to yell at
Interesting.
people.
which he
Probably
did recently.
manufactured.
He threatened to break a guy's neck last week, didn't he? You remember that guy?
Yeah, I used to do a bit about, and I can't, there's so much swearing in it, about how I couldn't get away with celebrity attitude because of the show I was on. Christian Bale, YouTube, very famous, like, "You don't know what you're doing. I'm doing a monologue here and you're moving lights. I'm through with you in this business." I go, "I'm on Reno 911. What am I going to do? Walk into an Arby's? You got my French fried order wrong. Do you know who I am? Have you seen a show that used to be on Comedy Central 20 years ago? I'm on basic cable, mate. I make more money in 2 weeks than you do in one. So
You're doing one. That's a great line.
Remember when Christian Bale hit somebody with a phone?
Russell Crowe threw a phone at somebody.
But Bale had a thing too with somebody.
Probably. So
Hotel clerk or something.
yeah, hotel clerk.
That's a
So,
great line.
Yeah, thank you.
So Hilaria puts him away. And
Oh, man.
is it a good idea to
Yeah.
rile your husband who recently shot somebody and killed them? Is this?
No, it's not. Yeah, it's it is if you want his inheritance. But no, not a good idea. Maybe just let Alex have a moment there.
Can you do Alec Baldwin?
I don't know
It's
because
such a
he's
deep
kind
voice.
it's already deep. It's grindy. It's a little bit of an East Coast thing, right?
Yeah.
Which is why he was so good at Trump.
Yeah.
But that's coffee is for closers. That's as close as I can get. I haven't studied it.
That's not bad.
But yeah, that's not good.
If I would like, excuse me, he just, had the thing with the whole Russ thing. You may want to just let him, let him
Yeah.
have some M&Ms.
Right,
That's
right.
all he wanted.
He was great in a lot of things. And Glenn Ross.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
on Broadway now with Bob Odenkirk and
Right,
Bill
it's on
Burr.
Broadway,
Burr,
and I
yeah.
just heard Bill Burr talking about it, that it was a very serious play, but because it's done now 30 years later, people are laughing at things that they never laughed at
Yeah,
before.
I just need the leads. If I could just get the leads.
Shivering teens on the, they were lost at sea for 16 hours on a paddleboard.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. And had to be rescued.
Yeah. No,
Bro,
wasn't it-
this starts the day. Bro, this is going to be so epic.
Do you know where you're going?
Yeah, the shore's behind us, bro. I know how to get back.
That's what I'm thinking. What do two little girls, 16-year-olds talk about? Like they're in the middle of the ocean by themselves. What's this conversation?
That must have been terrifying. Like really, like you have no idea you're gonna get saved.
Yeah.
You're just like on this paddleboard. You have no idea how you're gonna survive or
No.
drink or eat
I'm
or anything.
afraid
I hope I
I'm
get rescued by Timothy Chalamet.
when I take a bath at home, I'm afraid I'm going to drown.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it would be like.
Did they lose the paddles?
Let me see here. I'll tell you one second.
You know what?
It's-
These days they would get discovered, and it's the new Gilligan's Island with about 2 16-year-olds.
You would think they would have their phones with them. These girls,
Yeah,
you
because
know.
you can carry it in a waterproof
Yeah.
pouch.
Shivering teens stranded on a tiny paddleboard were plucked from the sea after
Shark bait.
16 hours off the Florida coast. Well, all those sharks. Could you keep your feet in the water for 16 hours? I mean,
Yeah, you got to keep your foot on
the
board. But they were
harrowing-
paddleboards. They're nice and wide. They got a lot of girth. They're
no,
like
there was no paddle. It says they were clinging to the flimsy craft.
But they were paddle boards, which are wider than surfboards and have a lot more surface area. But basically, you're a freaking ingredient on a Ritz cracker for a shark.
By the way, if there were no sharks, how would you
Sharks.
think that would change the world? Like, if you knew and you went in the ocean that there were no animals that would kill you in the ocean,
Well, the ocean would be dirtier, first of all, because they're great at cleaning up all the
but
garbage.
there'd be something else
But the
instead.
fear factor, there's a squid. I'm telling you, I'm a scuba diver. I'm certified. It's been a while since I dived. I dived on my honeymoon in
Hey.
I dived. My wife was on the mainland, and underneath our boat, as we were surfacing, was just this giant 6-foot barracuda right by the ladder. Just
Wow.
I saw
I'm
one.
not moving. The late, or not late, but our former comedian, maybe Sabrina Matthews, was a night scuba diving, and she had a reflective mask and got bit in the face by a barracuda.
Wow.
So sharks typically are more shy. Barracudas, they don't play.
I saw one in the
Ooh,
Caribbean.
Barracuda.
I was snorkeling and I saw this long
Yeah.
thing with all teeth. It's
Yeah,
like
it's a barracuda.
I ate
from-
one.
Yeah.
barracuda.
Yeah, when I was, I did shows in Aruba, and they had a local fish market, and they had barracuda.
There's no meat. It's all teeth.
It was delicious.
It
Yeah.
certainly wasn't a meal in
He
Glasgow.
used the teeth.
Hey, Danny, you've got two choices tonight. You've either got haggis or barracuda.
There was a cartoon character named Baron the Barracuda.
Baron the
Ever heard of this guy?
barracuda.
By the way, here's a story that's not in the news, but it's in my family's news chat.
Okay.
So my brother, I won't say his name, is my brother's best friend who's about to get married next week. Went out with him to Mendy's Deli yesterday for some sandwiches.
Where
And
they
my-
film counterculture.
Yeah, kind of goes there. And this guy, he's like I said, he's gonna get married in a week. He decides, I'm gonna get the Larry David sandwich at Mendy's. He gets the Larry David sandwich. You know how they put those toothpicks with the little plastic
Sure.
on the ends?
No,
He
ate it?
didn't see it. It got lodged
Oh.
in his throat. He's still in the hospital. It's not in his throat anymore. But they say now
It's in his
they
heart
have to
now.
get it out of his body because it could puncture him.
Sure.
Yeah.
So like he can't leave the hospital until they're able to get this. And I was like, well, it's the Larry David sandwich.
Wow.
It's such a curb situation.
I've done that before. I've bitten into forgetting there was a toothpick and pierced the top of my mouth. Luckily, it didn't stick and I didn't swallow it. So I could see that happening.
What's with the toothpick?
I was on a toothpick in the sandwich.
Why did they put toothpicks in sandwiches?
I told you to wait, Larry.
Can't they put a clip on it?
Can't we get rid of the toothpick at this point, people?
They make
That's a-
paper straws. They can't make paper toothpicks.
And that was yesterday this happened?
Yeah,
Wow, that's a horrible story.
it's a horrible
Yeah, yeah.
story,
Absolutely horrible.
but thank God he's okay. I mean, he's in the hospital and
Did
it's
you ever
not in his
swallow
throat
anything? Did you
anymore.
ever swallow anything that
Yeah.
you thought was...
I almost choked once. I almost choked on
I don't know why I'm laughing.
because he's happy about it.
Yeah.
He's getting out of the show somehow. He's looking. I worked at a pizzeria in Long Island, and I went down on break, and I was in the refrigerator, and they had burecas, like spinach burecas. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to eat a bureca. I was in the walk-in refrigerator, and the boss walked in, and I was like, oh, no. So I tried to swallow the whole bureca,
Oh,
and it
boy.
got stuck in my throat.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
You got bad Barreca.
And
Hey,
the whole
more
time,
Amsterdam.
I'm like choking, and he's standing there. He doesn't notice at all. And then, like, at the last second, it just went down. I was like,
So when I was like 14, I started smoking weed at around 14, 15 years old. So
Yeah.
I lived with my parents. They were out working. I was home. And I smoked a joint.
Mhm.
I stoned out of my mind. I went and I picked up a glass of water and drank it. I'm going, and I called my mother and I told her I think I drank turpentine,
Oh, man.
which I didn't. I did not, but I was so stoned that.
Oh, wow.
And she goes, we don't have turpentine. I
have
go,
turpentine.
I'm telling you, there was a glass with stuff in it, and I drank turpentine. I didn't even know. How would I even know what turpentine tastes
And
like?
why was it in the fridge?
No, it wasn't in the fridge. It was just on the counter,
On the
sitting
counter.
there.
Turpentine.
And
I drank serpentine. It was going like this in me, going back and forth.
serpentine,
Serpentine.
serpentine.
Serpentine. In-laws.
Maybe one of the funniest movies.
Yes. Raising Arizona for me, but the
Shell, I
in-laws
got
is
it.
right
They
up
make
there.
a chicken sandwich, Shell.
Why are we doing this? I don't want to run in a circle. This is not a good idea. Why am I doing
Shell,
this?
if I can just get you for 5 minutes.
I don't
Shell.
want to make 5 minutes.
Oh, you know what I could do? Alan Arkin.
That's with the Kevin Pollak story when Kevin Pollak was doing. Kevin, you're on CNN. You're doing my voice. Don't do that, Kevin.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Great actor. Huh?
Yeah.
How about you? You ever poison yourself?
I don't think so. I think I got my mouth washed out with soap or something and it was gross, but I don't ever recall trying to eat something and choking on it to the point or poison myself. No.
By the way,
Oh, in Japan, I went to get what I thought was a glass of water out of a clear cylinder thing with a spigot. Oh, because it's a glass of water for breakfast, and I just chugged it, and it was white vinegar, and I was like, "Ohayou gozaimasu."
wow.
Good morning.
Wow. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, what a cool kind of easy vibe, man.
Yeah.
I
Did
love
we
it.
leave anything out? Anything you want to?
No, if we're doing promo stuff, Rock Paper Scissors on Nickelodeon, that's a thing you can watch there. I'm coming to Paramount Plus, and if you want to know my con schedule, you just check me out at Carlos Alazraqui on Instagram, and you'll know where I'll be. I'll be in Richmond, Virginia, depending on when this airs, at the end of this month,
Comic
March
Con.
27 to 29 in Richmond, Virginia, with Cedric Yarbrough and a couple other folks.
You know what I loved about this, by the way? You do something that Sinatra does.
Yeah.
He did. When he sing a song, he would name the writer and the arranger.
Oh.
You named about 1,000 people. You gave them credit today, and
Oh,
that's
good.
such a beautiful thing.
Thank
You
you.
didn't just, you must have brought like 150 people into this thing, and all those names. And if I, that's a real giving thing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
He also brought a guy with him that roughed me up outside named Jilly.
Yeah.
Another thing that's Sinatra.
Can you do Sinatra?
No, one take, Jack. That's all I'm doing, Jack. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Mickey Blue Eyes. That's what they call me.
Bangles.
Yeah.
Well, good. Mark Schiff, my book, Why Not? Lessons on Comedy, Courage, and Chutzpah. My markschiff.com, my Instagram, my...
It's such a great book. You plug it really quick every show, but I'll take 1 second. I was just going through it again the other day. It's such a great book. It's short stories, and for people with ADD like me that can't really stick with a big book, it's terrific. And he's got all maybe mention a few of the stories from the book, because
few of the stories?
yeah, just like what are they about? Like,
so what it is you got kids. So this
Yeah.
is what I did. How old are you?
13 and 11.
Okay, so this is still young. They probably will not know that much about your life. They'll know what you do for a living, but they won't know all the stories you passed, your
Oh.
kids, your family, your parents. Somehow it gets by a lot of people. So I wrote this not to publish it, but for my kids to know where I came from and about my parents. And then it's showbiz stuff, and it's my Jewish roots, a lot of Jewish stuff in there. So that's what little stories. Each story is about 700 words. And
I
it's about-
like that. That's smart. Yeah. A little glimpse, a little verbal photo album of my
Yeah, that's
life.
what it is. That's what it is. So,
I like that.
yeah.
you wrote it for your kids, and then it turned out to be great for everybody.
So a quick story, I think it was Tim Allen that told it, that one night he's on stage, he's getting heckled, the guy keeps heckling him, and Tim says, and he's trying to stop him, and the guy keeps heckling. Tim says, one more time, I'm coming off the stage. I'm going to punch you in the face. So the guy heckles again. Tim comes off, walks over the guy, punches him in the face, knocks out a couple of teeth. It was the guy next to him that heckled.
Oh. That's like that Vision commercial.
Is that true?
Yeah, this guy over here.
It's that commercial. Time to get your glasses checked.
I saw Tim Allen do an hour plus of material at the Laugh Factory this week,
Wow.
and it was phenomenal. It was
He's working
very-
with Mike Binder.
yeah, it was like
Mike
it was
Binder.
almost like a 700 Sundays talking about Billy Crystal. It was almost like
Yeah.
that kind of
Pushing
show.
the rock up.
Like he talks about his whole life. He starts in his childhood and the characters, and then he, how he got into dealing drugs, and he went to prison, and then he plays the Santa Claus, and he's like just out of prison, and now he's surrounded by kids in this wholesome movie, and like it's a very
Yeah.
interesting and really well done thing he's got there. I mean, it's still developing it, but it's
What's
really great.
amazing was I was in Detroit at the Comedy Castle, Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. And if you ever played this place, it's great. It was either the day or the day after Tim got out of prison, he came right to the club.
Wow.
I mean, that's what
That's a
it means.
comic.
That's a comic.
Yeah.
You can hear the door slam behind your prison. He goes, I'm
Yeah.
going to go do a set now.
Yeah.
He said when he was in prison, he was like, I don't know what I want to do the rest of my life, but I know whatever I've been doing to get here, I don't want to keep doing that. So he started thinking about it, and then he's like, I want to be on the Tonight Show. And he's like, you know, you have a lot of time on your hands in prison, so I just started reading books by everybody who'd been on like the Tonight Show.
Oh, that's great.
Is there
really
a book that
interesting.
somebody who wants to get into voices should read?
Ooh, that's a good question. There is a site created by D. Bradley Baker called I Want to Be a Voiceover Actor. And it'll tell you everything about preparation, what to do, how to train, what you can do on your own. That's the one I'm familiar with. But a book per se, there's probably been a couple written by a woman named Terry Berland, who directed me in the Taco Bell commercial. Viva Gorditas.
So for people who are older,
Directed the audition.
for people who are older and go, well, you know, what can I do? Can older people get into voiceover?
Never too late.
Never too late.
And
in
I always
voiceover,
tell
right?
people, read that site. I want to be a voice actor, and then make your own content. There's so many ways to do it. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Make your own video, your own content where you edit it minute long, 30 seconds long, show what you can do. And then in
Well, you
addition,
got
take
that thing where
workshops,
there's
take
like 15
classes.
different characters. You got the thing. It's only you only give a line or two
Yeah.
of something, and then there's another one, right?
Yeah, I do
I
something
saw
like
that.
on my Instagram and on my TikTok.
Yeah, but I saw
think.
that. You could actually send that to an agent, that type of thing.
Yeah,
right?
or they can see it. You can send a link. You can
Yeah.
make your voice tape. You can go the traditional route, but in addition, do your own content.
And should
Yeah.
Danny move to Scotland? And
He should. He'd be huge.
it'd be huge in Scotland.
Can, can you give us a little Quiero Taco Bell?
Vivo gorditas. Yo quiero Taco Bell. I think I need a bigger box. Really bizarre. Really
That is
bizarre time in my life.
So huge.
Yeah.
Gilbert Gottfried was good.
Oh, he was wonderful. Man, he was so good. So funny.
And he-
There was this guy.
Yeah, so good.
I got my comic books at fairenoughcomic.com. They're comic books
Right on.
about my life, and you could also occasionally see me as you walk past an empty table at a Comic-Con with them. I don't do them anymore because I just lose money.
Yeah.
But and
we got to change this about you because you go to Edinburgh.
yeah, I never.
Nobody comes to see you.
Yeah,
You sit in Comic-Con, nobody comes to
That's
see you.
right.
I'm going to
You
turn him
go-
into a voice acting
As soon as-
god.
As soon as you go
Thank
home,
you.
the kids run out of the house.
Yeah,
This is not
nobody
a-
ever wants to see me.
It's a terrible
You don't
thing.
even want to see me.
Not really. I came to see him today.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, we think it's funny, and we hope you did as well. And you know, we've got a YouTube channel, and we'd really love it if you subscribed. We need the subscribes. All right, everybody.
Bye,
We
bye.
love you.
Thank
Talk
you.
to you
Thank
later.
you.
Thank you, Carlos.
You're welcome.